Well, I think, marriage is the foundation of America. It's a foundation to the church, and hopefully it's a foundation to the family. And there's a real need for somebody to help people in trouble.
There's a need for God in the center of the marriage and the relationship. And I think that is the biggest thing that was missing, is we tried to do it on our own.
God put them in our lives for a reason. And they allowed God to use them to help us and numerous amounts of people. We're not the only people who could sit here and tell you this story.
They were very open, very frank with us about the problems that they had had in their own marriage and how the tools had brought them to the good place where they are now.
What we're talking about and what we see is a real radical change in the way that people do marriage. This isn't just about teaching skills. I mean, this is an idea of making a change in my mind that leads to a change in our marriage. And when you get that radical kind of change happening in a couple, and then another couple, and then another couple in a church, the things that can spring out of there that are good for that church and good for that community are just amazing.
They talked to us, they listened to us.
They showed us in their own marriage and in their own lives that they were using the same tools that they taught us.
It wasn't just a job for them. They were willing to help us. They wanted to help us. They wanted to be there for us. So.
When we needed straightening out, they straightened us out and gave us things to do and ways to work on our marriage, and thank goodness they did.
The truth is, we were, about 10 years ago, we were very, very close to divorce ourselves. And we determined that because of the fact that both financially as well as even in regard to help being real accessible, because that was so hard for us to find help that was actually economic for us, we said, you know what, we need to do all that we can to make this more available to people.
And so I think a big message for us is that with God all things really are possible, and that no marriage is hopeless.
And so this is a full-service, spiritually focused marriage mission center with international impact that helps churches, helps communities, helps universities, helps couples all join together to be sure that we can develop the kind of holy, proactive marriages that we know God is going to be pleased with.
People that are hurting and trouble with their marriage, they need to find someone, they need to have someone that cares and that they believe cares.
It's infectious. You can't sit through one of their classes without really feeling that passion kind of exuding from them and getting excited about marriage yourself.
So I think it's really learning to take scripture and use it in a marriage. It's learning how to communicate, and that more importantly is learning how to listen and how to speak to one another in godly communication. It's about resolving conflict. It's about having a marriage that is forgiving, that is other-centered, that is committed, that is an unconditional love, and that is steadfast and permanent.